Hey, what's going on? What is going on? Want to hop on and talk about something that, man, I have somebody that I love dearly, very, very close to me, family member that had a stroke last night, and it was a mild stroke, but it was a stroke nonetheless. And I had a long conversation with this person today, and here's the deal. You know, this ain't no practice round. This is not a practice round. This is real life. Sandy, thank you for that. I appreciate that. How are you, Sandy? Yeah, it's late. It's late. Wow, Jonathan, I'm sorry to hear that, man. You know, my this person, I don't want to talk about who it is exactly. It's a very close family member, and he didn't die. He but man, what a wake up call. What a second chance. You know, a buddy of mine who is a very wow, she was on a ladder and had an aneurysm, and oh my gosh. See, that's and I'm very sorry for your loss, Jonathan. That's horrible. And this happened to a family member, close family member of mine, one of my very favorite, if not my favorite family member. Um, and you know, this we'd never know. We don't know. We don't know when it's our time. We don't know. And you know, a buddy of mine called me. He sent me a text message last week, and I get a couple hundred messages a day, so I don't always get back to them all. I try my best, but I don't get to all of them. And this is one of my best friends that sent me this text, and it was a book. And he said, I lost 35 pounds in 60 days. It changed my life. You should check it out. And it was a link to a book. So I thought, well, I'll check it out. But I didn't, and I didn't text him back. So he calls me a couple of days ago and he says, what? I don't fit on your best friends list anymore or something like that. And I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, man. I totally forgot. And this book. Hey Dean, how are you, man? Good to see you. Freddie, what's going on, bro? Blunt force trauma to the head. Oh my gosh. Dude, wow. That is terrible. I'm so sorry to hear that. Hey Doug, how are you, brother? Good to see you. So hey Sasha Litter. Did I say that right? Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. So this book that my buddy sent me, he ends up calling me and he's telling me about this, and it's the keto diet by Dr. Axe. And so my buddy, who is very he's a law enforcement officer. He's very quiet, you know, he's not really outspoken like I am, and he was fired up. He's like, dude, I had arthritis gone. I had, you know, I dropped, like he said, I haven't been in my, and I went and looked at pictures on Facebook and I'm like, oh my God, it doesn't even look like you anymore, dude. Cause he's always been overweight, a heavy dude. And he says, hey, Karen, how are you? Scott, what's up? So he's like, you got to check this out, man. This keto diet thing is really unbelievable, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, all right, I'll check it out. So I buy the Audible book, and I started listening to it, and I was like, what? Are you freaking kidding me right now? This is unbelievable. So Dean says lost well over 100 pounds in less than a year with keto. That's crazy, dude. I'm glad somebody's getting on here that's done the keto. So I bought the actual book. I bought the cookbooks, and they'll be here tomorrow. And my wife and I are going to do this keto thing and really check it out. And you know, I talked to this family member that had the mild stroke last night. He was thinking it's been going on for a few days actually, but he finally went and got it checked out last night. And they said, you've had a mild stroke. And again, this is probably my closest family member in my immediate family, besides my wife and children. And you know, I love this dude. Like, seriously, he's just an amazing. And I said, and he's extremely overweight. And he's always said, I got to lose some weight. And, you know, and I started thinking about how, you know, we as human beings, I mean, America is the most overweight country in the world per capita. Did you know that? Because of the junk that we freaking eat and the way we eat, and it's insanity. And so I really, this book, if you have not listened to and read, and I'm not far enough into it to know, like, I'm not going to sit here and give a raving review. Everybody I've talked to that's done the keto thing has said it's unbelievable. But listening to the book, The Keto Diet by Dr. Axe, by listening to this book, and like the people that have reported amazing healings in their body, like healings, like cancer healings, and all cardiovascular, and all arthritis. My buddy said, dude, the arthritis I had is gone. He goes, I go out. This is a guy that's been overweight, like significantly overweight. And he's like, he goes, I go out and run 7-8 miles now, and I feel no pains, none, zero. I just go out and get a good workout in. 7 or 8 miles, running 7 or 8 miles. So, like, I'm telling you, and Karen, exactly. So, you know, and I, you know, my wife and I both did 75 hard last year. A lot of people participated in that and still are. And I'm telling you, here, let's see what Dean has to say here. It works for me, but I think he meant, but each of us are different. It likely could work for you, but there is no one size fits all cure. Some are better eating 8 to 10 small meals, while others paleo or vegetarian. But for me, keto and intermittent fasting works for me, and no more medications for anything. Exactly that right there. No more medications. That's the thing. Okay. So here in America, I don't know what it's like in the rest of the world. Hey, Laura, how in the world? There's somebody that knows health. She's a nurse practitioner. So, you know, in America, we eat all these carbs, all this crap, all this junk, all these processed foods and chemicals and all this stuff. And then we go to the doctor and say, I've got arthritis. And the doctor doesn't want to tell you, hey, you need to stop eating that crap, or they just don't know. Or, you know, you have all these other health issues. And what's the doctor do? You have high cholesterol. What's the doctor do? Oh, you need to be on a statin or whatever it's called, high blood pressure. If you have high blood pressure, medications and all this stuff. And the sugar, Karen, do you know that sugar is fuel for cancer? Did you know that cancer needs sugar to thrive? Unbelievable. These are things that I am learning reading this Dr. Axe, reading his book, The Keto Diet. It is, I'm telling you, I'm listening to it. I just ordered the hard copy and his cookbook. I ordered both of those. They'll be in tomorrow. And I am telling you that I don't, what do I think about leaky gut? I don't know. I don't know anything about leaky gut, but I know this. Here's the thing. You know, somebody that I love dearly, who's only like 70, had a stroke last night. And I love this dude. He's, like I said, he's probably my closest family member. And it's like, was that really necessary? I don't know. If it's your time, is it your time? I don't know. But like, there are scientific studies that show that if you do A, B, and C, you can have a longer life or a more productive life while you're here, right? And then, you know, people that are overweight, including myself, I've done this. I've said, you know what? I mean, you know, I rationalized smoking cigarettes forever, for 30 years. And I'd say, well, you know what? We all got to die sometime, somehow, some way. I'm going to enjoy myself with these cigarettes that are killing me. Like, that's crazy, the way that we rationalize and justify our poor health and our poor decisions. And so, you know, I actually bought that book and the cookbook for this person and sent it to them today, or this evening. And, you know, you need to learn about leaky gut. Okay. I'm down for learning about anything. I love Kristen Tibbs. Kristen Tibbs is one of the most amazing people on planet Earth. She is awesome. If you guys aren't following Kristen Tibbs, you need to, because she's amazing. She's been on my show, Laura. So sugar is inflammatory to the body. Yes, fuel that promotes cancer. Just reducing or getting rid of sugar will serve you for life. Most carbs become sugar. Exactly. They do. And we stuff ourselves with these carbs. And they burn off quickly, and then they convert into sugars, get stored. And again, trust me, I'm not an expert with any of this stuff. Frank Crenity, my brother, is on the way to the gym. That's awesome, dude. So, like, when I got this call, and you know, Laura, Dr. Axe talks about Alzheimer's and dementia in this book a little bit. He touches on it, and he's heard great feedback from the medical community that you know, saying that they've seen improvements, obviously no healing, but improvements in Alzheimer's and dementia patients that have been put on the keto diet. And you know, again, I don't know. I'm not, my sister, as Laura knows, my sister's a nurse practitioner. I don't even know that she's real familiar with the keto diet. But I'm pretty excited. Not because, look, my buddy called me up and said, dude, I lost 35 pounds in 60 days. I'm never hungry. He said, I'm never hungry. This isn't a starvation diet. What's up, Jason Auld? How you doing, bro? It's not a starvation diet. It's a switch what you're eating diet. Like, and actually, he, according to him, you end up eating. He's like, I don't eat any less calories at all. He said, in fact, I probably eat more calories, which just doesn't that doesn't compute for me. Like how's that work? But I'm excited to get into this. But the belly fat and all of that stuff that I've struggled with that for a few years, several years now. Just having that dad bod that won't go away. So too much protein can be, yes, I've heard that as well. And he explains that in the book. Actually, he talks about that. Dean Hankey here said he did keto or does keto. You still do keto? And are you on the what's it called? The keto cycle or something like that? I don't know what it's called, but it seems unbelievable to me. And you still do consume carbs as well. So just not as nearly as much. And that is not even including food combining starch and proteins, rotting waste, and right. It's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And that's something else, Freddie. He said that his energy he's like, dude, you can't even measure my energy. You cannot even measure his energy. So it said it's so high. So, and Dean would know. Dean's doing or has done keto, or I don't know if is it a permanent thing that you do? Like, I'm just going to start eating this way, or is it? I don't know. I don't know enough about it yet. But from everything I've read, and this is in the last day and a half, everything I've read, every video I've watched, all of the oh, you want me to put up the book titles? Dr. Axe. Let me see if I can find it here. Here it is, right here. Let me get this, and I'll copy the link from Amazon, and I'll paste it right here. There. I pasted it in my personal feed. Now I'll paste it in the rest, and hopefully it posts to everything. So, and yes, do you go by Doctor? Laura, nurse practitioner Laura. Laura is an Alzheimer's specialist. She actually is probably the anybody that I know, she is definitely the most qualified to talk about Alzheimer's. I am not. Intermittent fasting, yes. Allowing our bodies to recover the proper insulins, etc. Insulin resistance. Read about this. Yes, this is a lifestyle now. Yeah, I've heard. Well, he talks about that in the book. Again, I'm listening to the book right now. Let's see. I tried keto but failed because I don't have the patience nor stick-to-itness. But once I cut out sugar, I dropped 28 pounds in 40 days. Wow. Good for you. That's insane. So, I have again, and this, I've used the same thing, the patience and the stick-to-itiveness thing. But I got to tell you that, getting a call from somebody that I love dearly, that I mean, I've known this person my whole life, and getting that call, hearing that he had a mild stroke last night and was in the hospital as a result of it, I know, because I talked to him today, and the only side effect at this point is he's just had some minor memory loss. Not loss, just a little bit of tiny bit of confusion. It was in the left temporal lobe, but he's used that same exact excuse I don't have the stick to itiveness or the patience, and I have too. And look, that's not me cutting on anybody, I promise you, because I am not one to judge in any way. It took me a long, long time before I finally, surrendered and decided I would live a different life other than drinking my daily weight in alcohol. It's been almost 18 years since I got into recovery and haven't had a drink, but there's more to life than that. And I think that you don't have to look very far to see that we live in a very obese society in the United States. And to sit here, I know, and I spoke with his wife and said, hey, he's at risk, like serious risk, to have another, like, it ain't no joke. So, like, you got to make some changes. And again, I'm it's not me judging him in any way. I love this dude, like, seriously. But like, and Karen, I love you. I think you're amazing. And I would hate to hear that something horrible happened like that to anybody, like anyone. And I certainly don't want it happening to me or my wife. I don't want that. I want a better life. So, and look, 75 hard is awesome. Okay. And for me, I lost 30 pounds in 75 days. It's intense though. It's not sustainable. It's just not. You cannot, I mean, maybe you can. I run a couple of businesses, and I just do not have the ability to put all of that time into working out twice a day, 45 minutes each, and the gallon of water, just the gallon of water. I mean, a gallon of water is not hard to do. It's the getting rid of the gallon of water every 20 minutes, because like water goes through you fast. Dean says, again, for me, it was a good match. Easy peasy. After trying most everything else, keto works for me. It might be a fit for you as well. I was over 300 pounds. That is unbelievable. Dude, that is freaking awesome, Dean. I love hearing that right there. That's what I love hearing. It works. You get your body into a state, and this is from my buddy told me this. He's like, dude, the weight just, and again, you're not hungry. He said, in fact, I have to force myself to eat. He said, I literally have to force myself to eat. And I'm like, wow, that is so cool. And so, he said the weight just melts away. So I love Kristen, and I definitely follow her, and I will, but I am going to try this keto. I'm not going to try it. I'm going to do it and just see how it goes. And if it goes well, which I think it will, we'll see. There's, again, like Dean said, it may not work for me. May not be a good match for me. I don't know, but I know that. And Laura, you work around people that die all the time, and I'm not trying to be morbid, but you do. I mean, it's part of your profession, especially dealing with elderly people like you do. You see a lot of death. And I often wonder, hey, Anthony Green, what's up, bro? Good to see you. I often wonder, like, what somebody that's dying, what are their regrets? And there, I know that there's studies, and my buddy Glenn Morshower talks about that as well. But, like, there's people regret, I think more than anything, they regret not doing the things they wish they had done. And you know, if you're, oh yeah, you're geriatric patients during COVID, my gosh. You know, I wonder how many people at 80 years old that are dying, that are on their way out and they know the time's up. I wonder how many of them think, man, if I would have just taken care of myself better, if I would have just gotten past being obese, or I would have switched to something, a healthier way to live, and not followed the path of everybody else. I mean, if you go into the grocery stores and you look up and down the aisles of our grocery stores in the United States, like, it's literally poison. Like, have you been down the cereal aisle lately? Go down the cereal aisle and pick up boxes and read the labels. Don't look at calories. Look at there's ingredients in the cereal that we eat and we give our children that you can't even pronounce the ingredient. You can't even pronounce some of these ingredients. It's insane. So, you know, I'm this, I'm making this change before I ever even heard about my family member having a mild stroke. Two, I will say my tastes have changed. I no longer crave the carb starch. That's what he said to me as well. But I could also kill a pot of buttered noodles or a loaf of sourdough bread. So I was more carb-based before and lousy at times. I eat more now, but just better for my body and system. Exactly. Karen says, in my mind, the best thing anyone can do is pay attention to everything you're putting in your mouth and pay attention to how far from the ground, how processed the foods are. Yep. That you're eating, and read every label of what you're eating. Laura says, oh, I have so many of those death talks. Regrets are a lot of the time around family and friends. Yeah. Yeah. And you know, leaving them behind to fend for themselves. I can't fathom that. And so, you know, look, so chemicalized in the US, need to eliminate chemicals. Yeah, well, that's going to be, you know, that we're never going to eliminate chemicals as long as we keep buying them. It's not going to happen. We will not eliminate chemicals in our foods until we stop buying them. When you stop buying them, the chemical companies can no longer afford to make the chemicals to put in the foods, and so they go out of business. That's the way it works. We're talking about health, Frank Crenity. We're talking about health. I have a very close family member that I got a phone call last night, had a stroke and is in the hospital. And, you know, it was a mild stroke, but, you know, it was a wake up call for him, and definitely, you know, I'm already on this path. I'm reading this book about the keto diet, and I'm already on the path of, you know, I really want to check this out and see what it's going to take to get into the ketosis and all of that. Fuel your body and get rid of brain fog. You know, that's something else that I'm just being real. Brain fog is a legit thing. And I've had it, like, and I still get it like once in a while. And that's something else I've heard that is a wonderful byproduct of the keto diet, is it gets rid of brain fog, gets rid of it. So like, I don't know. I just feel like for me, go check out the documentary series called Game Changers. It's on Netflix. Very eye-opening. Robert Starks, dude, I didn't even look at your name. What's up, bro? Good to see you, man. So look, I didn't come on here to lecture anybody, but I got to say this, man. It's weird. If one of you, just like Jonathan was talking about earlier. I don't know if Jonathan Bolton's still on here, but he said that his mother passed away of a sudden aneurysm. She was on a ladder and she had an aneurysm and fell off the ladder and she died. And it's like we don't know when our time is up, but like, who wants to live here with brain fog? Who wants to live here being obese? I mean, and I'm not talking about a little chunky. A little chunky eventually becomes a lot chunky. A lot chunky eventually becomes obese. We fool ourselves by rationalizing, justifying this crap, and I've done it. Everybody's done it. Everybody has. We rationalize or justify. No, dude, I have a Delaware County, Ohio gift that was given to me. Well, actually, we designed this shirt for an officer that was killed in the line of duty in Delaware County, Ohio. When you're able to travel to the countryside in Italy, mind blown on how food really tastes without the chemical processing. I'm sure. I can't even imagine. I don't think that, we bought just before COVID hit, literally, I think 3 weeks before, we bought a side of, or a quarter of grass-fed beef of a cow, right? And so we had to go down and pick it up from the processor. And I got to tell you something. Grass-fed beef tastes, I mean, completely different. Completely. It's got a totally different taste than the stuff you're buying at the grocery store. And in fact, I can't even stand the smell or the taste of grocery store meat now. That grass-fed beef is on a totally different level. There's no hormones. There's none of the it's just unbelievable what the difference is. It's completely unbelievable, the difference. Dean says, interestingly, I've always been a big guy. I was born 12 pounds, your poor mother, and never really felt bad, slow or low energy, lethargic, etc. But I can now do things I've not been able to do since I was a youngin'. Dude, see, that's so awesome, man. That's so awesome. And that's what my buddy said. My buddy said the same exact thing. He said, I'm in the 160s, and I don't know what he weighed before, but add at least 35 pounds to that. I don't know that was the height of his weight either. So I don't know if that was the maximum. It may have been more. He was a bigger dude for his height, for sure. And now he's in the 160s, and he said, I haven't been in the 160s since high school. And I go out, he had arthritis and these pains all the time. And he's like, and I go out now and I run 7 miles and I feel no pain. I'm like, what? What? He's like, it's crazy, man. The keto diet is unbelievable. He said, he goes, honestly, dude, I don't think I'm ever going to go back. It's changed my life. So, and his wife's. So, I don't know. I'm going to check it out. I've been listening to the book, which I pasted the link in a little bit ago, and you can go back and find that. And listening to this book and listening to the people who've been cured of cancer, of all these things that the patients, the people that are on the keto diet are like, it cured my cancer, it cured the arthritis, it cured all this stuff, right? And so brain fog, all of the different things. It's crazy. So again, I'm no medical expert. I'm just I'm going based on what I've heard other people that have done keto, like Dean is on the keto diet. Frank, I think, just said Steph Jane Ross loves the keto diet. I think she does, actually. Yeah, I think she preaches about it, in fact, all the time. I have so much energy since losing 25 pounds more than 20 years ago. Exactly. Weldon says, I swear I get MSG withdrawals when I change my diet. You know, what's crazy is I've heard that when you switch over to keto, your body does go through withdrawals from sugar and carbs. I mean, I've been through the withdrawals from sugar and carbs, and it sucks, but it doesn't last for long, and there's ways to manage it. And he talks about that in the book as well. You can manage it. I would say listen to the book. That's just my suggestion. Listen to this book, at least the first chapter, and then you'll want to buy it. You'll want to buy the hard copy of the book after you've listened to it, because it's unbelievable. This guy is a wealth of knowledge. And I'd say he's doing something right with 1.8, 1.9 million subscribers on YouTube. He's had Dr. Oz on. He's an amazing dude. I'm going to try to get him on my show. But, you know, just look, say a prayer for my family member. I don't want to say who it is. I'm just not going to do that. But it's one of my closest family members. There's Steph. Frank Crinitti, it's why I'm called the avocado. I've healed many, including my son, off the spectrum with ketosis. I'm a firm believer in it. That's why I became a functional medicine health coach. Boom. Thank you, Steph. Thank you. I just started listening to Dr. Axe's book, and wow. And I ordered the book. I ordered the cookbook. I'm excited about it. I'm scared because I don't, you know, it's like my wife yesterday. I'm like, all right, let's start doing keto. Well, we don't have an avocado tree or whatever, you know, we don't have all the stuff here. And she goes, well, like last night we were both starving, and I'm like, I don't think we're supposed to be hungry. And she goes, I don't know what to make. And I'm no way against making money, yet very easy to be a victim, especially when it comes to food-based consumption. Get informed. I am in no way against making money. I guess that's what you mean. Yet it is very easy to be a victim, especially when it comes to food-based consumption. Yeah, I agree. And that's why, like, you know, Dr. Axe has a book. He's not selling me any avocados. But, you know, again, I think that, you know, anybody that's ever suffered from, well, for me, suffered from being not obese, but having 20 extra pounds on me, and that creates a lot of, it slows you down, brain fog, all the carbohydrates, the crap that we eat in this country is insane. Charles Coachman, damn it, keep 20. Yeah, there you go. That's the answer. I don't have Twinkies laying around. That's the answer. But, you know, like for me, the brain fog, that's why I just want something different for my existence. And I wanted this after my buddy called me and he's telling me about this. I'm like, what? He's like, dude, arthritis gone. I don't even have it anymore. All of these things that he said to me, and I'm like, that's insane. That is absolutely unbelievable, dude. So I bought the Audible book, and then after listening to the first couple of chapters, I was like, okay, I'm going to buy the hard copy and the cookbook. So I did. Anyway, yeah. Say some prayers for my family member. And he had a mild yearly. And I pray that he can make some changes in his life so he can live and have a life worth living. You know what I mean? So you guys, look, appreciate all of you hopping on here. I've seen the numbers bouncing up and down here. People popping in now going, Ken's on a rant again. I'm going to have to get with that later. I'm out. Anyway, hey, I appreciate you all. I love you all. Thank you for the great feedback from Laura. I love Laura. If you guys aren't following Laura Wilkerson, you need to. She's amazing. Frank Cranitti, amazing dude. Karen Toddy, Dean Hankey, thank you for all the great feedback. And of course, Steph James, rock star. So thank you all. Appreciate you all. And Charles was watching 1976 Midway. Nice. Eating Twinkies. All right. Hey, you guys have a great night. Thank you. I appreciate you all. And we will see you mañana. See you tomorrow. Later.